It's getting to be a familiar scene. Let's face it, Jon Chorzine walks into a congressional hearing room, sounds like a bad joke already, and answers questions about the collapse of MF Global. We're waiting for him to do it once again today. So with us now is lawyer Andrew Stoltman. Andrew represents investors who are the victims of fraud. And Andrew, what are the chances that today's testimony will provide any clarity at all for investors and what their options might be?
Well, I think we're kind of getting to the nub of the issue right now. Corzine is testifying later this afternoon, and he's going to finally have an opportunity to respond to the allegations that have been made against him by Terrence Duffy. And I think it's going to be fascinating to see what he says. To the extent he continues to stick his foot in the mouth, it can only help the investors with the class action lawsuit pending against the senior executives, including Mr. Corzine. I think it's also going to help the people who are going to file arbitration claims against MF Global who hope to get their money back. So I think it's a big, big day.
All right, so far he's been ignoring the advice of a lot of, at least lawyers that we bring on who say that he should just say, my lawyers tell me I can't say anything. Instead, he's been answering the questions. What are the chances that he might plead the fifth this time around?
You know, I think he has stepped into it, and I think he has committed to testifying, and I would be surprised if he takes the fifth today. But make no mistake about it, he should have been pleading the fifth from the very beginning. What he has done in terms of testifying in front of Congress is a classic prosecutorial trap. And I think if the allegations that Duffy made yesterday are accurate, I think a compelling case could be made that he has misled Congress, which of course could lead to obstruction of justice charges.
Are you looking for another smoking gun, or was what Terrence Duffy said enough?
Well, I certainly wish Mr. Duffy would have provided more clarity rather than saying, I was told that a CME auditor was told that Mr. Corzine knew that these funds were being, used for illicit purposes. So Duffy didn't provide a lot of detail, and realized Mr. Duffy and the CME have a vested interest in making Mr. Corzine look bad because, of course, CME was the auditor. They were the regulator for MF Global, and arguably they should have caught the conduct that took place. And if there was criminal conduct, if you have Mr. Corzine hiding, information, that certainly can make the CME look better.
Sure, and this comes at an awkward time for Duffy, the CME, and regulators overall, because you point out that the CME has been trying to get tax breaks. Duffy has been lobbying for less regulation.
Yeah. In Illinois, the CME has come to the Illinois legislature hat in hand saying, hey, we need our taxes cut, otherwise we're going to flee to another state. And both the House and the Senate in our state have approved a massive, massive tax break, and now it's waiting for the governor's signature. But even more importantly, the entire MF Global debacle could not have happened at a worse time. Because you look at it and you have Dodd-Frank, details of Dodd-Frank that are being hammered out right now. You also have the Volcker rule, basically not allowing brokerage firms to gamble in their proprietary in-house accounts that are being debated right now. So just from a regulatory standpoint, it could not have happened at a worse time.
Right. It's certainly a critical time for the securities industry with all this pending regulation. We know that this debacle has cost Jon Chorzine his reputation, but could it cost Terrence Duffy his job?
Yeah. That's a hard one, because certainly the CME has a lot of egg on its face for not catching this. I think the details are still coming out, but I think we need to find out how many times the CME has audited MF Global in the last 6 months. What the CME knew and when they knew it is going to be crucial. So could it cost Mr. Duffy his job? Yes, but I think it still kind of depends upon what comes out in the next 3 to 4 weeks.
All right. Thank you so much, Andrew Stoltman.